Welcome to the live stream, guys. It's been a few days, but we are back. If you haven't already done so, drop a like. Jason, good to see you, buddy. Salflex, Country, Jamie, good to see you. Shinobi, Khalid, how you doing, my friend? Crawford, how is everyone in the chat doing? Let's go over some of the questions. I'm all right, Crawford. How are you, buddy? What do you think of the whole SUI narrative and the ecosystem? Would you consider SS Swap a good buy DEX build? I'm aware of the project. I do think the SUI narrative is, doing pretty well at the moment. You don't want to be buying it now when everyone is talking about it. Eventually, the narrative will change. Eventually, there will be another chain. For example, it could be Solana again. It could be one of these other chains, up and coming chains. Maybe C. There's a few other ones as well that can perform really well. So the narrative may change in a couple of weeks, and these projects that's currently pumping, for example, SuiPad. This is one that someone called in my VIP group a very long time ago. These type of projects you buy at a later time. You don't buy them now. This is 2 cents. Now is that 14 cents almost. So you don't buy them now. You buy them when the narrative is dead. So for example, in a couple of weeks, in a month's time, 2 months' time, whatever the case is, Sui is no longer going to be the most talked about chain. The narrative is going to shift to something else, and a bunch of people will start selling this off, and then when this goes back down, then it will be a good time to eventually buy, because Sui will come back and it will perform well in the grand scheme of things. It has performed fairly well, in a very short period of time. This is why everyone's bullish. It dipped down to about 40 cents or 30 cents. Now it's almost $2. So it will come back. However, you have to wait for Sui and for the launch pads and the the dexes on Sui to have a cool off before buying. I'm going to be on your live for the first time. My friend, welcome to the live stream. Overkill, Jobin, how's everyone? Ross, good to see you. Mark, good to see you as well. Ben, still waiting for the dip. My friend, the dip will come. You guys have to take in consideration, everything has been rejected off the trend line. Now, this could obviously change if we see a massive parabolic run from Bitcoin. However, with war breaking out in the Middle East, with Lebanon and Israel, it could cause a dump in the markets. Now, this is not guaranteed. No one can predict the markets. This is why I always tell people, grab an initial bag, of any project that you're willing to buy, because then whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter, because if you got an initial bag, when it pumps, you don't really care. But when it comes down, you're willing to accumulate more. That's the whole point of grabbing an initial bag. And this is what I always stress to you guys. Another thing is, if you look at Bitcoin, this chart to this chart is playing out very similar. We had a few green candles. We had a dump here. Then we had a few green candles. And eventually, it couldn't break past this point. And now it looks like it wants to go lower. So the dip will come, because every single time we get a rate cut, the market rallies for a week or two before selling off, because then people realize eventually one rate cut is not enough for a sustainable pump. And then you get better buying opportunities. Eventually, when you get about 3 rate cuts, then the market will rally sustainably, because then there's there's going to be more money circulating. People can start taking out more loans. These rate cuts take about 6 months to a year to affect the economy. So yes, they might cut. People get excited in the short term, retail only. Institutions don't get excited. Retail gets excited. People get excited in the short term. However, these type of stuff take a very long time to play out and for it to affect the economy. We need at least 3 rate cuts to have a sustainable pump and break the all-time highs. It could happen. We don't know. Obviously, no one knows for sure. A lot of this stuff is manipulated. If you look at the data across the board, It is very, very manipulated. But then there's some projects now that's outperforming, look at Sensei. Sensei is doing extremely well. It's pumped approximately, if you bought the dip a few days ago, it's done a 2x. And if you've been buying since I've been telling you, up more than 2x. This came as low as like 7 point something cents, 0.007 something 3 or 4. So you would have been up almost 3x. I bring you guys the best projects. You just have to be patient enough to wait for them to pump. And these are tiny pumpies. These are little pumps. These are tiny pumps. It's pumped multiple times like this. It pumped up here. It had a massive wick to 18 cents. A month ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. But this looks like a more sustainable pump. Now it will cool off. It has done a decent amount, but with projects like this, there's not much liquidity needed to pump the market with the charts. So if someone buys 10k worth of Sensei, let's say a bunch of people buy 10k worth, it will pump significantly because you don't need much liquidity to pump it. And even Alt is performing well today as well. Alt has pumped 15% today. Hold on. Alt is pumping as well. You guys can see it's up 14% today. Some projects just take a little bit longer to pump, but they pump. Relio's pumped significantly. I told you guys to buy Relio on the live stream. It was like 50, 60 cents. Now, you would have been up more than 2x on your investments. It went as high as like 125. All the projects are pumping that I've been telling you guys to accumulate for the past 3 to 5 months. All of them are up. Why? Because you don't buy now. All of us had plenty of opportunities to buy every single one of these projects. Tech Term, Sensei, OTK. People always want to buy and FOMO in when everything's pumping. There's some projects that's still very good, decent DCA, and this is one of them. OTK is not a bad time to maybe grab a bag if you don't have any at all. At 2.7 cents, it will do well. Now, Solana is making very, very big moves. If you guys watch the Solana conference, they're forming massive partnerships across the world with governments, with big companies, big institutions. And OTK is backed by the Solana institution, the Solana Foundation. And because they're releasing a new cell phone and they got a new game, Cubic, I don't know what it looks like, some shit old, little game device. But they are making moves. So if people start buying the Solana phone, and OTK has confirmed that on the new Solana phone, OTK app will be on there. So that's massive in itself. People will eventually play the game because they have no choices on the game. Is on the phone. It comes with the phone, which is very good to see. This is why OTK will perform well long term, and he's already performed well. Just look at the chart. This is a very good chart despite the massive dump we had. This has been pumping. It went to like almost 6 cents at one point. Now it's come down and had a correction. What I've noticed is in the last week, there is a bunch of idiots that I've noticed is they look at a chart, and if something isn't pumping, they think the project is a scam, which is the dumbest thing you can do. Because look, there's a bunch of scams that's pumping, the actual scams that's pumping. But then sometimes the good projects, because they're not known, because they do everything the legit way, they don't pay a bunch of influencers to show, they don't pump in the short term. However, when people in the masses, when the narrative takes off, that's when they pump. And Alt is a prime example of that. Alt did not pump, he was actually dumping. Everyone was calling it a scam. I guarantee you, if this goes up to like 10 cents, everyone will start thinking this is the brand new best project in the world. It's pumping as we speak right now. This is why people have to be very careful, how you view a project just based off price action. Price action matters when the narrative is hot. So when AI is pumping and this doesn't pump, then you could say this is not a good project. But because the market is having a little bounce, these newer projects don't really pump as much. There's quite a few different ones as well. Look at TARS. TARS hasn't really pumped, even though this was, they paid a bunch of influencers. I think there was about approximately, they probably paid like 10 big influencers to pump it. The chart just looks like it's consolidating. That's it. Looks like it even wants to go lower. You guys can see there's like a little bearish pattern here. This little trend line here is forming a little downtrend. But newer projects take time for the masses to find out about them. Let's go into the chat now, anyways. Vimid, should I FOMO my initial into Sensei? I wouldn't FOMO in now, my friend. I would wait for it to go lower. There's no point FOMO in anything right now. Crypto God, good to see you as well. Hey G, I just thought on my crypto, good idea. I don't think that's a good idea, my friend. I think that's definitely not a good idea. Selling all your crypto is probably that's a very big risk. I would never do that. Me personally, I would never do that. But I'm 85% in the markets. How you doing, buddy? Has alt bottomed out? Has alt bottomed out? I don't think it has. It's just having a nice bounce right now. Alt is having a very lovely bounce. Let me have a look at the charts on Mexi, and you kind of know by the buy orders if something has bottomed out or not. I don't know why, but Mexi is having some crazy bounces. Has alt bottomed out? It looks like it does want to go higher. Or it does look like it wants to go higher, to be fair. In terms of bottomed out, I'm not too sure. I think alt will bottom out sometime in November. I think it's just having a nice dead cat bounce. Let's see. If it can go higher than this previous range, then it could probably potentially go even higher than that. But I don't know for sure yet. It's hard to say. No, I don't think alt has bottomed out. This looks like a massive wick. This type of stuff doesn't really, they're not really sustainable. Fizz, good to see you, buddy. Minato, how you doing as well? It's good to see you in here as well, buddy. Where's Minato in? Yeah, Minato is in here. Simon, Minato, how you guys doing? I don't know why, but I always miss Minato's comments and he thinks that he's getting shadow banned. Tim, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? Has the bull market started, my friend? No, the bull market has not started. I don't think the bull market is going to start till next year. We still have too much headwinds ahead of us, for anyone to say the bull market has started. It takes a bit of time. You have to have a sustainable amount of rate cuts to see a sustainable amount of pumps. This is why I don't think the bull market has started. I think after 3 rate cuts, 2.5, as long as they cut 2 times, the market will start, at least pumping a bit higher. But we need at least 3 rate cuts, to have a sustainable pump, in my opinion. So I don't think the bull market has started, no. A lot of people are buying now thinking that October is going to go parabolic. This is what a lot of people. Why? Because people think that it's because it's a halving year, and Bitcoin should go parabolic in a halving year. We've had a rate cut now. Everything, realistically, no one really, you don't really want that as an investor, because if you get a left translated cycle, all that it means is everything's gonna pump maybe to like April, maybe to March, and that will be it. And then we'll probably get a massive recession, and that will be the end of the bull run. But that's not a very explosive bull run, because there's going to be no retail in crypto. So how is your altcoins going to pump if there is no retail to come and buy your bags off you? So I don't really see it as realistically as, we want the bull run to start in 2025 and last till the end of the year. But if we get a pump now and Bitcoin goes to 100K now, that is the left translated cycle. And it could happen. There's always a possibility. But then if that was the case, we would already pumped sometime in August. But we haven't in September now, almost the end of September. So I personally, wouldn't want that. You would want Bitcoin to pump next year to have a very long bull run when the economy is eased up. Right now, the Fed, even though they cut 50 basis points, they're still in QT. So they're not looking to, expand their balance sheet. They're still taking stuff off their balance sheet, meaning that we cannot have a sustainable, massive bull run. You want everything to be perfect. You want inflation. Inflation is not 2.5% realistically, because if you look at inflation properly, which a lot of people don't, So then they see the numbers and it's 2.5%, or this must be really good and everything's coming down. That's not the case. The reason inflation came down from 2.9 to 2.5 is it's 2.59. They just rounded out to 2.5. I don't know why. It should be 2.6 realistically. Or it might actually be 2.6. I'm not too sure. But the reason it came down was because something went inflationary, which historically is not, deflationary, sorry, which historically is not a good thing. So I don't really like this idea of having a left transcendent cycle. It could happen, but as an investor, people that want low caps and stuff, it's not ideal for us. It's ideal for Bitcoin holders because then Bitcoin will go to like 100K, but then some of these altcoins will pump, but they won't pump as explosive as if retail was in crypto, which then most likely won't be at any time soon. So I don't like that idea personally. Happy, good to see you as well. In my opinion, drop begins Tuesday and Wednesday. It is possible, yeah. I think we have some data on those days. That's why we've got the unemployment data coming out on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think it is the unemployment data. We've got some important data in those days. If it comes in unhealthy, then all this, all the gains we've just had today will be given back to the markets, because what will happen is people will get excited. People are getting excited now because they think unemployment came down to 4.2%. Inflation came down. Everything is on the right path for a bull run to start now. However, you have to think logically. All of this stuff is lagging indicators. So we've got the data for July. We're now in September. So next month, well, at the end of this month, we'll get the data for August and the start of next month. So if it comes in hotter than expected, for example, unemployment goes to 4.4%, the market is going to have a massive sell-off. This is how it is, because the only thing that's stopping us now from having an explosive bull run is the unemployment and the 2-year and the 10-year yield curve being uninverted, which historically always between 1 month to 6 months, sometimes even a year, you always get a recession. So a recession is guaranteed at some point. We just don't know how long it's going to take to come in the markets. And keep in mind, this is something everyone has to take in consideration, right? A recession gets priced in a lot quicker than it gets announced. So, on average, if you say a recession starts in, let's say the media announces a recession, the market would have already bottomed out 15 days in advance. So, the market likes to price everything in way in advance. So it could be a scenario where we have a massive drop maybe after the elections, sometime in November, in December we have a massive drop, and then maybe at the end of December, early January, the media, everyone starts talking about recession and they announce it. But then by that time, the Fed would already been ready to print their way out. This is how it works. So let's just see how it plays out. No one really knows. Everyone has a different scenario. But like I said, no one really knows. Has Alt found the bottom? My friend, we don't know, because this is just one dead massive dead cat bounce. Like, this is just a massive bounce that we've had from the lows. I don't know if Alt has bottom, because just look at this. It came down, just had a massive green candle. Is this sustainable? We have to see in the coming days. At the moment, no one really knows. Just because it's pumping, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden is found a bottom. That's not the case. It doesn't work like that. It has to come back. If it comes down, holds, maybe even holds the 8 cents region around here for a couple of weeks, and it bounces up, down, consolidates, whatever, then you could say it's found the bottom. But for now, no one really knows. It's just one massive green candle. We had a massive green candle here, came down, went back higher, and then it just had a massive drop after that. So it's hard to say, is this the bottom? We'll have to find out in the coming weeks. We don't know yet for sure. But then, if you buy this now, even though it's better priced than 12 cents, what we're buying up here. But the thing is, if this goes lower now, you're going to regret buying here. Do you see the point? So you have to wait and see how it plays out. You would rather buy a bottom where some price where it's holding stable, rather than just buying a falling knife. This is a falling knife. It's just consistently going down. Eventually, it will bottom out. And when it holds a price for a couple of weeks, maybe to a month, that is the bottom. I would say a week and a half, 2 weeks is a good amount to judge that, is most likely not going to go lower from here. This has found the bottom. But on these dead cat bounces, you can't say it's bottom, my friend. It's impossible to know. Thoughts on Yai? I have a small bag, but I think it's perhaps trash. We can have a look right now, my friend Ben. Is this the AI project, right? It looks like an AI project. Chart looks horrendous, but it came out in April, so most projects that come out those times have, probably have a shit chart. So it's not really AI powered market data Oracle. Oh, I've already looked into this one. It's actually not too bad. I think oracles can do well. It looks like it does look like a small version of Chain, but it has no docs theme, so it could be worth a trade, my friend. If you have like a moon bag or a small bag in this, then like a zero to hero type of, it's not too bad. The chart, the website looks decent. It's in a very bullish concept, AI Oracle. If it does do, if it survives and doesn't rug by the time everything goes parabolic next year, then you can do well. Hit the likes if you want to be rich. Precisely. Minato, you're chilling today. Perfect. Today you're chilling, aren't you? Maybe C after suit. That is possible as well, my friend. C is a very good project. It's, it came out, did very well, and eventually came back down. Now it looked like it had a little bounce, just like with the rest of the market. However, is this sustainable? We don't know. We'll have to see in the coming days, weeks. But this is overall not a bad project. This can do well long term as well. Heading to $2. C is the next Solana. People do compare it to Solana, but there's going to be no such thing as the next Solana because Solana is still here. So you can't say the next Solana. In terms of price action, you can, but Solana is still around, so you can't really say the next Solana is going to be the next C. C and Solana are completely different projects. They do different things, even though they're both layer ones, but they do different things. I like Zelix. I don't even know the other one. I can't bother to look at it, bro. What even is it? Monad. I don't like looking, but it's not even out yet. Can't look at it if it's not out. But Zelix is decent. It's a good proof of work token. Dougie, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're okay. Stone, how you doing, buddy? DC and Joe. Cook, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you as well. What do we think about the AI agent layer? But that project pretty much got rugged, didn't it? The AI agent layer. It looked like, let me see this. From what I checked, the tokenomics for this looked awful. It looked awful. It's on base. Let's have a look at the website. Let me see what it does. Is it just an AI agent place? So autonomous AI agents. Maybe many people have expressed the desire of democratic governance. Latest AI wallet checkers. Scan wallets for vulnerable. Okay. Astro AI. GUI that operates friendly. Mr. Go. The fuck even is this? An expert. Bro, this is some bullshit AI agents, bro. Fortuna. Search engine. Why do you need an AI agent for a site? Oh. AI agents, autonomous project that aims to decentralize, permission secure. Is there a docs team behind this? So it's got a bunch of VCs, it's got UOB Ventures as well, Mexi. Anyone else? It doesn't look like they have a docs theme at the moment. Maybe they do have a docs theme, I just can't find it. Let's go in the white papers. No, they don't really have a docs theme. It does look alright. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look that bad. Would I buy it? I don't think I would, man. The AI agents they have is fucking awful. There's no use case for them, bro. Like fortune cookie AI agents. That's what they have. You have to have a real AI agent that's people gonna utilize. Otherwise, it's pointless. You know, making a search engine AI agent is like that's probably the dumbest thing you can do. Is no one needs a search engine AI agent. It doesn't make sense. AI agents have very specific use cases that you can use and implement within the real world. Search engine and fortune cookies and all this bullshit is not one of them, bro. Is this a good time to see which project has potential to do well in the bull run? Well, you could say that it is a good time to identify some projects that can do well in the bull run. However, that is not always the case. It depends on which project is doing enough marketing and which project is not. For example, or even though it's pumping today, hasn't really done the crazy amounts of gains that a lot of other projects have. But that does not mean, in any sense that is a bad project. It doesn't mean that. This is fundamentally one of the best projects in the AI category. But because not much people know about them, they're not really, the best marketers in the world. You could say, it's not really. I would say there is some projects. If you look at which big YouTubers are talking about specific projects, then you could say yes, it is a good time. Because then at the end of the day, these YouTubers, for example, the likes of Alex Becker and some of these other ones, they can push projects. So when everyone is talking about Sui, that is going to be one that a bunch of people will show on the ball on as well. So that's one way to look at it. And then you look at narratives as well. Look at which narrative is pumping, sustainably and very hard. RWA, for example. My RWA picks that I gave in my private group are doing extremely well. Relio is one of them. And there's like two other ones. Both of them are doing pretty well. One of them is doing really well. One of them is doing okay. But RWA is a good place to put your money. If you've seen anything on this pump, you would have known the RWA has pumped fairly well in a very short period of time. RWA has done really well. Look at Relio. It's pumped significantly. Had a little drop, but came back up. Let's see if this is sustainable first of all, though. Bitcoin's back at 63K now. Okay, good to see. Like I said, it's hard to say right now. You have to just wait and see what Bitcoin does in the coming weeks. Most likely, a drop will probably happen, in my opinion. It's hard to say. Like I said, don't take my word for it, bro. It's hard to predict any of this stuff, man. The market makers do some crazy stuff. Too risky to be in C at some stage. I see at $20. Too risky not to be in C. Some stage I see at $20. Yeah, it will probably be at $20 to be fair. Around $20. Probably be like a 10x, 12x. It's possible. I don't really, I'm not too bothered about viewers, bro. Not too bothered. You don't really make much money on YouTube, anyways, to be fair. As long as I can help the people that's watching me, then that's all that matters. C looks very interesting. I added a bag of Sensei to my portfolio. Very good, my friend. Very good. Sensei is very bullish. Suddenly, really is 100x. I told you, bro. I find the best projects for you guys. These Sensei is extremely bullish, and it will continue to do well. Don't FOMO in now. Like I said, the bull run's not going to start till next year. We still have too much headwinds ahead of us for anything to start pumping now. Just wait for it to correct. It will correct. It's done a very big pump. You don't want to be buying charts like this. It's pointless. You want to buy it when it comes back down here, which it will at some point. Very good, my friend. Very good. Add it when it comes down. Don't add it now. Don't become a bag holder for the people that's dumping on you. Should I get into Alt and Sensei? Should I still get into Alt and Sensei? My friend, I wouldn't get into Sensei now, but Alt is, it's not really up that much if you think of it across the board. It's up 16% today, but this is a massive wick. But just look at the chart. This is basically near what it was a few days ago. So you can get into it, but wait for this wick to be over. This is a massive wick. Eventually it will dump. Nothing goes up forever, my friend. So this is a massive wick. It came all the way down to like 7.4, 7.5, and now it had a massive recovery now. Decent recovery. I wouldn't say massive, but it's pumped 16% today. It's not too bad, I guess. You want these projects to pump at some point. But these guys have locked up a very large amount of the tokens. So even though it says fully diluted is 180, 40% of this has been locked up now. So the fully diluted is approximately around 80 million, 70 million, around that much, because they've locked up 40% of the supply now. And then they also do the burns and the buybacks as well. So their goal is to burn 40% of the max supply of the fully diluted, to burn 40% of that, which is very, very good. And the vesting schedule is solid as well. Appreciate the words of good experience. Do you think SMT has many X's left in it? Thank you. Good to see you as well, my friend. I don't think I've seen you in the chat too much, but SMT is, I personally like this project. I don't think it's a bad project. It hasn't really pumped with the rest of the market. This is only because no one really talks about SMT anymore. SMT is a project, that has more or less done like 100x from back in here. So if you got in here, you would have still made a 20x minimum. Back at like 3-4 cents, whatever it was, 4 cents, you would have still made a decent amount of money. But however, I think it can still do well, but it's not going to give you anything more than a 20x. You have to think logically, right? Excluding dilution, this is $20 million in market cap. For this to do a 10x in 200 million, a 20x will be 400 million. That is possible for this project, especially if RWA is going to be as big as most people are projecting it to be. So it can do a 20x. It could maybe even push for a 30x, but I don't really see it likely because not many people talk about this project. Not too many talk about SMT. If you look at Relio, for example, Relio is one of the top 10 most talked about projects in the entire crypto space. So they don't really need to do too much in terms of marketing themselves, or they don't need to do any of that stuff because the shillers already market Relio, pretty much free of charge. This is what you gotta realize. So with SMT, it is fundamentally a good project. I do think it will run, but don't expect this project to do 50x or 100x. It's not going to do that. It will do a 20x, a 25x, maybe a 30x. That's the type of numbers you look for with SMT. Back in those days, the market cap was, a few million, less than that even. So if you bought SMT these times, which this is the time that I bought it during the FTX crash, you would have got it for less than $1 million. But now it's 20 million because over the time, over the long period of time, if you look at market cap, let me zoom out. At the heights, you have to look at this, right? This is the most important thing in these projects. Do not look at price action, look at the market cap. So if you look at this, at the heights, it reached 86 million. It reached 86 million, right? So for this to go reach all-time highs, it's like a 4x. That's the way you gotta think. For this to reach the all-time highs, it's a 4x because over the times dilution comes into play, and there's going to be more dilution. There's still another 2x dilution pretty much. Now the best thing to check is on here to see what the real market cap is. Fuck's my chair doing, bro? Yeah, so it is 20 million. Yeah, the market cap is 20 million. They probably have minted more tokens by the looks of it. Fully diluted is that much, unless they're burning tokens. I'm not too sure. But SMT is not too bad. I personally don't like it that much. I prefer other projects over SMT. Love OTK. Yeah, I love OTK as well, but OTK is the best project on Solana, the best gaming project on Solana. And like I've said this so many live streams, there's a very, very big difference between a project that's migrated to Solana and a project that's backed by the Solana Foundation. You're going to see a massive difference. Why? Because the more Solana advances, the projects that's built on Solana and has the foundation backing them, they are going to advance with the project. With the projects that's migrating to their chain, is like, it doesn't make that much of a difference. No one cares about them. You can be on the Solana chain, but you're on 3 other chains, so no one really cares that you're on Solana. If you're only on Solana, then there's a different story because you came out on Solana. People like that more than just migrating to Solana. There's a big difference in my opinion. That's the way I look at it. The projects that's backed by the foundation are gonna do really well compared to the project just migrated to Solana. Is it still a good time to get some Alt and Sensei? Not really, no. They're both pumped significantly, my friend. You don't even want to buy any of them at the moment because all you're gonna do is just in a few weeks' time when the market corrects again. Look, Alt's flying today. Alt is flying today. I told you guys, you have to be just patient, bro. Like with these projects, you have to be patient. You can't just, can't get excited on little pumps. You can't call it a scam because it's not pumping, or that's not a good way to invest into these projects. It's probably the worst way to invest. You see a project pumping, you start calling it the next big thing, because that's not always the case. A pump does not dictate nothing. Some projects just pump a little bit later, or it's pumping today, but it wasn't pumping for the past few days. It doesn't mean it's a scam. It doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean it's bro. There was so many people in my free Telegram group calling a scam because it wasn't pumping. But look at them. I guarantee you they're gonna call it the next best project if it pumps a little bit more. Price action does not dictate how good a project is. It does in the grand scheme of things, but in the short term, it does not, because we're not in a bull run yet. Who the hell is this guy? Price target $5. Roadmap, team, socials, tokenomics, burn 30% profits, mining reward 65%. This is a good thing. I like this stuff. I like that from this guy, but whatever his name is. No, how you doing, bro? Long time. G-Man, walaikum salam, buddy. How you doing? What do you think about my portfolio with C, AI Tech, AGI, or GLQ? Want to buy Tech and Tau when they come down? I wouldn't buy Tau, bro. Tau has already ran its course. You don't want to be buying Tau now. Tau's done now, bro. Tau will do a 5x, 10x max. There's no reason for you to buy Tau now. Doesn't matter how much people shell it. Tau has done its numbers already. What's the market cover of Tau now? It's 3 billion now, bro. For this to do a 10x, you need 34 billion. That's not a small amount of money, bro. It's a lot of money. I personally would avoid this project because it's already done the course, but it's done multiple X's. And it's like, look how much dilution still. It's like 3x dilution pretty much. So the highest this has ever been was 4 point something billion. So yeah. No, I would avoid this though. I wouldn't buy this, bro. Personally would not buy this, bro. Dilution has come into play. For this to go reach its all-time highs, you need a lot more money than what it is now. You probably need like 7 billion for this to do just a 2x. But everything else is very solid. You need to add Sensei to that portfolio, my friend. C, AI Tech, or GLQ. I would rather get rid of GLQ and buy Sensei. That's what I would do. GLQ is good, but GLQ's done hundreds. Like GLQ's doing a lot of X's, bro. Look, I made 50x on GLQ, and I made 12x on Tau, 15x on Tau, probably even more now. This hasn't been updated, bro. I called Tau $40. So I don't know how much that is. Probably not like a 15x actually at the heights. Maybe a bit more. Maybe like 20x on Tau. But I call Tower $40. So this will more or less be like 18x on Tau, not 15. But I can't bother to change it. But it is what it is. Hit the likes. Exactly, boys. Hit the likes. Should it be AVAX? Should be a good trade by the end of the year. That's if you get the parabolic run by the end of the year. You have to understand we are in a business cycle. You know, we are at the end of the business cycle. Generally, at the end of the business cycle, we find out which landing we have, whether it's a soft landing or a hard landing. We will find out in the next couple of months. This is why you cannot jump to the conclusion that somehow we're going to go, into a lot of people. Most YouTubers do not understand macros. They only look at the chart and think, oh, that's it, we're going to go to an all-time highs now. That's all they do. They don't understand macros. We are in a business cycle. We have to find out, over the past 2 years of consistent rate hiking, how it has affected the economy. We will find out sometime this year whether whether the Fed had pushed the economy too far and we get a recession, or they've done enough and they've somehow managed to get a soft landing. Don't just think, because we're in a pre-halving year, that at the end of this year we're gonna go and do crazy numbers. Has this played out like a halving year to you guys? It has not. It's always, this is not a halving year type of return. March was the top. Since then, most altcoins have dropped 70 to 90%. That don't happen in pre-halving years. Most of the time, it doesn't. So this is not playing like a halving year. It's playing out like a pre-halving year. We will get the halving year returns next year, in my opinion. I'm 90% in, waiting for the dip to buy more. Yeah, I'm 85% in, and 50% USDT. That's why I am here, Bitcoin. I'm 85% in the markets, 15% USDT for the final dip. Mugen, buddy, how you doing? Ricky, how you doing, my friend? How long, G? Tuning in for some dose of Sunday Alpha, not Sunday. What the fuck? Hope all is well, my friend Ricky. How you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you in here. How you been, buddy? 50 likes and Jerome Powell will post a buy alert immunity. Yo, that would actually be crazy. Imagine Alex Becker calls a buy alert immunity. He does like the horse racing shit, so he could probably be like this. Possible. Is all touching the 9 cents, or is it corrected? We don't know. Let's have a look. Alt's having a good day today. Like I said, boys, do not be impatient with some of these projects. Some of them tend to pump a little bit later in the cycle. Some of them do not pump till sometimes the markets, a project only pumps if someone is shilling it. For example, Carrot is one that I've been telling you guys. It's a good project. It's a good project. Alex Becker came today and showed it, and is up, a decent amount today. It's up 22%. Why? Because Alex Becker made one video on it, and now it's pumped significantly. This is how easy it is for some of these projects to pump. It's only going to get more and more during the bull run. Keep that in mind. Hi G, amazing private group. I should have joined earlier. Mr. Fantastical, very good to have you in the private group, my friend. You did say you were going to join, but I'm glad you joined now. My private group is the best. Unfortunately, it is now closed, so I don't want to be shilling it anymore. My private group is closed now. The 300 members have filled. Everyone in there is printing money. Everyone in there is patient. Everyone knows how to maneuver in the markets now. G is great to be again on the live stream, my friend. I will be live streaming more now. I'm going to drop an RWA tier list tomorrow, and then I will be live streaming most likely tomorrow, if not Tuesday. So is there going to be a video live stream every other day? A symbol mentioned Becca has about, yeah, exactly, yeah. I was just talking about that actually. This is, these both, Becca is just like a printing machine, bro. He probably already bought Carrot before he made his video, and then when his video's out, he's probably fucking traded it. That's how crazy it is, bro. Like this, some people have too much influence in the market, bro. It's like it shouldn't even be allowed, to be honest. C-Sense, how you doing? Niffy, how you doing? Sammy, how you doing, buddy? Sean, good to see you as well. Zim, good to see you. Don't FOMO into alt now, guys. Yeah, don't FOMO into alt now. It's pointless. But alt is already pumping now. Just let it chill. These massive green candles are not sustainable. When you get a massive green candle like this, it's not really sustainable, is it? You'll get better buying opportunities on alt. 100%. Look at the community is very bullish on alt. Only 12% is bearish, but then that 12% is stupid. But then again, if you don't hold a single bag of alt, it's not a bad time to get an initial in, bro, to be honest. Just look at the chart. It's basically at all-time lows. Whether it goes to 7 cents, 8 cents, in the grand scheme of things, makes fuck all difference, bro. But like I said, there is one more unlock left in this. One more unlock sometime in November. Then, from there we move. BF, good to see you, buddy. Just Matu Satoshi, great evening. Thank you for staying real and sharing your thoughts and insights. No problem, my friend. It's good to see you in here. Trust, good to see you. What do I think about TARS will give more gains than ChainGPT? I think TARS will give more gains than ChainGPT. Why? Because ChainGPT has run its course already. It's done a decent amount of gains. And in terms of market cap, this still has a decent amount of dilution left. And at the same time, the market cap is 70 million. So over the times, this has played out very well. If you bought in this last year, you would have made some crazy returns, basically over 10x, 12x, 13x, not too bad. I think that's a healthy amount for a project like this. It's a launch pad, launch pads, it has other use cases, but most people use this for the launch pad. That's why it's done so well. But moving forward, this is not going to give you more than a 10x, 12x, 15x max. Gotta think, bro. $70 million in market cap, still decent amount of dilution. I haven't checked the vesting schedule, so. But TARS will definitely give you way more returns than. The one thing, that a lot of people are finding dodgy about TARS is these guys, I don't know if they're fully backed by the Solana Foundation. This is the thing. It's not backed by the Solana Foundation because if you look closely, no, let's go on following. Let's go on followers, right? If you do look closely, by the way, guys, follow me on Twitter. If you haven't already done so, follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting on here a lot, updates on the markets, etc. But there is not a single Solana devs. No one's really following this project from the Solana team. So a lot of people are questioning, are these guys really backed by the Solana Foundation? A lot of people are questioning this. Why? Because you have to think logically, right? Of course, a project can come around and they can pay a bunch of influencers or whatever to shill it, thinking it's backed by the foundation. Wait, let me see if you can probably check over here. Let's see. TARS. You can see who the early investors in this project is. Because if Solana is not in this, then most likely it's probably not even backed by the Solana Foundation. So Solana Incubator. So they just incubated this project. We'll have to double check. If it is backed by fully backed by the Solana Foundation, then it will do well. If it's not and they're just claiming that it is, then it most likely will not perform that well. Keep in mind, the market cap for this now is going to be 21 million. So even though over here the market cap is telling you it's 13 million, but there's unlock in 9 days. 9 days left now. So there's unlock on the 2nd, and the market cap will be 21 million. It's a decent size unlock, not a small unlock. If you look at, why is he saying 36 million here? Is there any of the tokens that's not tracked? No, everything's tracked. So the market cap is probably like 15, 16 million right now. It probably will be this much. How much has been unlocked? 2 points. Yeah, so the public market cap's around 18, 19 million. But in terms of which one will give you more gains, I do think TARS will give you more gains than ChainGPT. only because it's new and the market cap's a lot lower. A 50 basis point rate cut is historically bearish. Keep that in mind. It is historically bearish. The reason is because if you look at the history of every single time the Fed has cut 50 basis points, 8 times, 8 times it's cut 50 basis points, we've had no recession or no hard landing. But then 9 times where they've cut 50 basis points, we've had a hard landing. But then what's difference now? The only thing that's different now is the Samru recession indicator has been triggered, number one. The yield curve has uninverted, which always follows up by a recession. Historically, if you look at every single time, the 2-year and the 10-year yield curve has uninverted, where the 2-year becomes more profitable than the 10 years, you do get a recession. This is how it is always is historically. Unemployment's trending higher as well. So there's too many red flags to be 100% in the markets. This is why, I'm personally 85% in, 15% in USDT. I don't think we're gonna get a bull run anytime soon, despite what all these big influencers and everyone's telling you. Despite that, because it's very unlikely that we get a bull run after one rate cut, unless we have a left translated cycle, which for me, I don't really like that because you're gonna get a very short bull run, and most of the gains will be in Bitcoin rather than altcoins because there's no retail in crypto right now, not many at least. Most people are still living paycheck to paycheck at the moment. So we need the Fed to switch to QE in order for altcoins to go parabolic, and the Fed has not done that yet. The M2 money supply is always going up, which means that assets do generally go higher. That doesn't mean that altcoins are always going to go higher. It means that Bitcoin will and the stocks and everything will go higher. So at the moment, it's hard to say. We'll have to see how unemployment data comes out. I think it's the 25th or the 26th of this month. That is going to dictate whether we go higher or lower in the short term. When is Carrot having unlocks? It's having in October, my friend. The unlock for Carrot is in October. That'll be a good time after that, potentially go back. That's a very good question. What would cause you to get more USDT and what would cause you to get less USDT? Well, there's a few red flags, across the board. So for example, when gold historically breaks out, it shows the market that it's a risk off environment, right? So where's gold right here? So when gold is consistently going higher, it shows that people are scared about something. Something is gold is always, you could say it's like a risk to recessions. Well, it's like a safety net to a recession. So whenever that recession is likely, most people go into gold or silver. They go into the metals. So if you look at silver, silver's also breaking out now. It came all the way down, but now it's trending higher, right? So when the metals start going up, people do tend to be risk off. So they don't want to be in the markets right now because something is showing signs of crack. Something is weakening. People are uncertain, so they go into these to the metals. But then there's other people saying, "Oh, gold is at all-time highs, S&Ps are all-time highs. It only makes sense for Bitcoin to go to all-time highs." That's not the case. That's not the case because yes, Bitcoin could go higher, but you have to keep in mind that crypto likes to price everything in way in advance. Whereas the stock market gets caught by surprise. They just have a massive 20-30% crash randomly. So whereas Bitcoin has probably already priced in, a decent amount. There'll probably be one more drop now to price in the hard landing. Whereas S&P keeps going up, and it just has a massive crash and everyone starts panicking. That's what happens to the S&P and stocks in general. S&Ps are all-time highs now. Look at this shit. This is the S&P all-time highs. This is not healthy. People should be concerned now that S&P is going this high. This is not normal. Every single time that we've had S&P go this high consistently, it's always dropped at least a decent amount, especially in the business cycle. How is Fala? Let's have a look at Fala, buddy. First things first, you gotta look at the chart. So first of all, it's an old project, and if you look at old projects, right, do not look at the price. I've always told you guys this, right? This is something that you have to take in consideration. Yes, at the all-time highs, they went to $1.10. So when it probably came down to one, down here to less than 10 cents, people got excited. Oh, it's a 12x back to all-time highs, but it's not. If you look at the market cap, at the very heights, it was 232 million. Now it's reached 227. So it's all more or less already reached its all-time highs in terms of market cap from the last cycle. Over these here, like a lot of these projects, they come out with very very low circulation initially, and then over time dilution comes into play. Bunch of tokens come into circulation. The market cap goes a lot higher. This is why vesting schedule is very important. But overall, this is not a bad project. Fella is actually a decent project, but it depends what you want with your portfolio. This is not going to give you anything more than a 5 to 10x, 5 to 10x max for this project. This is what it's done so far. It's done more or less barely anything realistically. It went from 10 cents to like 30 cents, which is just over a 3x. This might do a 5x in a bull run, pushing a 10x. Hit the likes if Diddy is guilty. I think Diddy is guilty, bro. Bro, they found Diddy with 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his house. That guy's crazy, bro. Inspect coin, I don't like Inspect coin, bro. I don't like Inspect coin. If Becca shilling a bit unlocks real soon. Yeah, bro. Becca always shows his bag before unlocks. Would you bet on Sue or the ZK narrative? That's a good question. I would rather bet on Sue than the ZK Sing narrative. I think the ZK Sing narrative will pop off at some point because the ZK Sing technology is pretty good. It is quite unique. So I do think both of them can do well. But I do think Sui has guaranteed, it's kind of, you could think of Sue as the next big thing pretty much. That's what I would think. So getting projects, getting good utility tokens, not just meme coins, but getting good utility tokens on the Sue ecosystem is not a bad idea at some point. There's going to be more, as the chain gets bigger and bigger, more TVL, more people want to build on the chain. This is how it is because at the end of the day, these people are here to make money, even the people that's making the projects. So they want to go on to the best chains that's going to make them the most money. So everyone's here to do to make money, bro. Some projects are here to stay long term, but that's very few. There's only most projects now are here to make money. Keep that in mind. And the projects that, as bad as it is, there's a lot of scams in crypto. So you have to take in consideration, right? There's so many scams in crypto, but these scams are here to make money. So you investing into these scams is not a bad thing because if they want to make money, they will pay influencers, they'll do a bunch of marketing because they make money. So the people that's backing the project, they will also make money. This is how it is. But this is crypto, though. Crypto is 99% scams. You just have to invest into the best scams, the most believable scams, the ones that's going to make you money. This is why I tell you guys, do not marry any of your projects. I don't marry none of my projects. I will take a 30-40% loss if the team is doing something stupid that I don't like. If the team's consistently selling or they're not marketing, or marketing at some point does matter, but not in the bear market, not now. So if the team is doing something stupid and being shady, I will sell my tokens whether we're at loss or not. Because yes, you might be 40% down, but you can take a trade and make that 40% back within a week. So it makes no difference. You can take that 40% hit, put it into something else, and get your money back very quickly. So it's not that hard. What do I think about DAG? DAG is shit, bro. Don't buy DAG. Just because something's pumping, does not think is good. Just look at DAG's price action for the past 2 years. It's been like a stable coin, bro. DAG is shit. Just because it's pumping today does not mean it's a good project. This always bounces with the market. Does not mean it's a good project. Just look at the chart for the past year. It just looks like a chart you want to buy. It's not one that I would even touch. It's just been consolidating at the same price. 3 cents, 2 cents, 4 cents, went as high as 7 cents, 8 cents. But this is dead. This is an old token. No one cares about it anymore. It's, if it goes back to its all-time highs, just over a billion, you're looking about 13, 14x, which I don't even think is going to do. Back then, there was very few good tokens. DAG was decent. I traded this in the last bull run. It's not too bad. However, if you want to make money, you're not going to make money in DAG, bro. Narrative change, sentiment changes, market conditions changes. So the same narrative that was pushing DAG is no longer here. I would not touch DAG. Such a retard. Sold Sue at 80 for on break even. Don't call yourself a retard, bro. It's easy to say in hindsight, but at the time, Sue went as low as 30 cents. So realistically, you've made your money back. I wouldn't call yourself a retard because bro, it's easy to say something now after it's played out. At that time, no one knows what's gonna happen. So, for example, I'm saying something now, I'm not right because no one can predict the future. So then, in a few months down the line, if I say stay in USDT is better, then we get a massive crash. It's easier to say then, but now I'm not guaranteed that it's not guaranteed that it's gonna happen. That's the thing. So it's easier to say in hindsight, but at the time, it's not a bad decision if if you're like 60, 70% down, but now you broke even. It's not a bad move, in my opinion. I think that's not a bad move. No one knows when Sue was just gonna randomly start going parabolic. No one knew that. Selling Sensei back right now. We'll buy in a dip. You could do that, my friend. It's not a bad idea. What's Sensei's price right now? Yeah, not a bad time to take some profits, I think. Maybe buy back low. It's basically all-time highs now. What's alt do now? Alt's going down now again. See what I'm saying? Like, you don't buy something now because you'll have a pump, but it will come back down as well. Nothing goes up forever, bro. Hi G, tomorrow Bitcoin 65k or 59k. How you think? Considering Monday normally sells off. Oh yeah, tomorrow is Monday. You're right. I think with the current war situation in Lebanon, that's only going to escalate. We could see a scenario where we sell off. Because look, I will show you guys one chart. Where's the Bitcoin chart? This is something that you all should take in consideration, right? This is how it's been playing out for the past, God knows how long. Yes, guys, I don't have this premium on this. I just use the basic version. But if you look at this, right, you guys can see Bitcoin spends 2 weeks going up, 2 weeks coming down, 2 weeks going up, 2 weeks coming down, 2 weeks going up, 2 weeks coming down. Now we've had the 2 weeks going up. So the next thing most likely will be 2 weeks going down. That is one scenario that could play out. And keep in mind, there is a CME gap at 53k Bitcoin. That will have to get filled at some point. So keep that in mind. Like I said, one rate cut, every single time historically we've had a rate cut, 50 basis points, the market is bullish short term. It rallies into the rate cut, and then like a week after, the market gets really excited. They think the Fed is going to start printing trillions of dollars, and everyone FOMO is in. And then generally, the market sells off afterwards because it doesn't go anywhere. There's no one in the market that's coming to pump your Bitcoin and your altcoins. There's no retail in crypto right now. So I don't know where these people are getting this narrative, unless, let's say, USDT dominance just takes a massive dunk, comes back down here. Yes, we could go up to as high as, let's go back on the daily chart 1 second. We could go as high as 65, even 100k. It is possible if USDT dominance goes that low. Now, is that going to happen? I don't really think so. It's had a little bounce. Every time this bounces, altcoins go down, and Bitcoin a bit as well. But yeah, it could either be 65k tomorrow or 59k. You're right. The market does tend to sell off or go higher on Mondays. But I do think with the war situation in Lebanon, I think Israel hit Lebanon with like a massive bomb. I think that's the biggest bomb they've ever hit. They've hit that with Lebanon yesterday. So the tension in the Middle East could go regional. This is why everyone is scared of the Middle East, because if Hezbollah gets into war, not to get political, but if Hezbollah gets into war, who do you think is going to back them? Iran? Who do you think backs Iran? China, Russia, BRICS. Who do you think backs Israel? The West. So there could be a massive regional war that could escalate. This is why this war is very important. On top of that, we got Ukraine and Russia and the West, basically a proxy war. Is basically BRICS, Russia, China, whatever, is allies versus the West. And they're just using Ukraine as a proxy. That's all it is. It's just like them indirectly fighting. Because you guys have to take in consideration, right? The way that these countries work is you have these elites in these countries, and they spend, years and years stealing money from the public, and eventually, over the time, they get greedier and greedier and greedier, and people start getting fed up. If you look at everything in the West, suicide rates, a bunch of other shit like all this transgender bullshit, these are the type of stuff that happens in a dying, superpower, you could say, a dying empire. These are the type of stuff that historically happens. If you look at the Roman Empire, before the empire basically collapsed, they push this idea of trans, that kind of stuff becomes normal. So this is a dying empire, whereas the likes of China, the likes of Russia, these are, upcoming empires that haven't taken the number one spot now. But eventually the roles will change. The West will go in a decline, which is already in a decline because the dollar is dying. These guys have been dominating for 100 years. And historically, every 100 years, there is a shift in who's in power next. Britain was the last superpower. The British pound was the biggest, well, the strongest currency. And then it started going in decline. Now the pound and dollar is more or less 1-to-1 almost. At one point, it was 2-to-1. It was basically double. But over the years, ever since Brexit, the pound lost its power significantly. And it's only going to get worse for the West, for the Western countries. So these elites are getting greedier and greedier. They're taking more and more money from the public, and the public eventually wakes up. Look how many people now is waking up. Why do you think the West is trying to cancel free speech? Why do you think they're trying to get rid of Elon? Because the more people find out of all the stupid shit they're doing, the more people ask questions, the more likely chance that these guys will eventually come out of power. All you need is, there's like a research where it says all you need is 3.5% of the population to change a regime. So all you need is 3.5% of the population to wake up and protest. You could change a government. But the problem with that is, as the Western elites lose power, who do you think comes and replaces them? Is other elites from other nations. So then you probably get the Chinese elites, the Russian elites, the Eastern countries. They will come and put their own people in, Western countries. And then they will do the same thing that these elites were doing in the West. They'll suck everyone dry, get greedy, pocket everything. And then, it's a never ending thing, bro. These elites get greedier and greedier. This is how it works. Eventually there will be no middle class, and there will only be the rich and the poor. This is why we are in crypto right now. The more money you make now in this bull run, the next bull run, you have a chance of escaping, the slavery that's coming. It is going to come at some point, because we're going to a stage where, the poor people are always going to be poor, but the middle class is what gets destroyed. And if they don't make it out, they're like in the middle. But then, there's like, you're more going towards the lower class if you don't do nothing, and all you do is just work. And, if you just live a normal job, you don't invest, you are going to go down. You're not going to go up, because inflation is only going to get worse and worse as the currency loses value consistently. Your currency loses 20% every year. So you have to, as an investor, as someone with brain, with some sort of brain, you have to put your money in an asset that's appreciating more than your currency depreciating. So you have to buy an asset that's giving you more returns than 20% a year. The S&P is not doing that. This is why most people are in Bitcoin. Why do you think Michael Saylor comes in Bitcoin, and any money he makes, he puts in Bitcoin? Why? Because Bitcoin There's only a very small percentage in the world, 21 million. God knows how many Bitcoins lost. There's probably around 15, 16 million left altogether. When something is, scarce in quantity, it will only go up in value as time goes on. This is why keeping money in your bank account is fucking pointless. This is why you need to buy a project. This is why you have to have the long-term mentality. Because yes, your bank balance might be the same. You wake up, your bank balance is 10K. Next month you wake up, your bank balance is still 10K. But what you don't realize is your currency is getting depreciating in value because everything goes up in price. So 2 years ago, let's say 3 years ago before COVID, a bag of chips, let's say a bag of crisps or a bag of whatever the case is, right, would have cost you 50 cents, but today it will cost you 80 cents or 1 cent or $1. So now you've lost a shit ton of your purchasing power, and your wages don't go higher. It doesn't match it, because then the more people, the more money people have, the less they rely on the government. This is why they don't like people getting rich, because they're realistically, right, if you were a multi-millionaire, had millions of dollars, are you likely to listen to people? No, because you've got a shit ton of money. No one can tell you what to do. If you're poor, you're likely to rely on the government. You're likely to basically get these benefits or whatever the case is. This is how this whole system is made, and it's a very corrupt system. This is why we're here to make money and get out of this shit. Realistically, people that's living in the West, this is not the best place for you to grow up in, your kids, etc. There's better places for you to go, and you can only do that if you got money. If you got multiple passports, you're not locked into one country. Like, a lot of people think they own shit, but you don't own nothing, bro. Like, you might have bought a house, you might have mortgaged a house, spend your whole life paying it. Just piss the government off of that country, and let's see if you own that that house you've been working your entire life to get. Let's see if you actually own that house. They will take it off you. They'll strip it off you. Look what happened to the guy. I don't know if you guys watch football or not, but the guy that owned Chelsea Football Club in the UK, he had billions of dollars that in this country. That as soon as the Russia and stuff went into war, he obviously is Russian, so he has ties to the Russian government. He's a billionaire. He's basically like a Russian elite. Look what happened to him. They locked up billions of his money. They would not give it back to him, even though he worked hard, he did everything legit, and he lost all of it. He will never get that back from the government. This is why you don't own nothing. Let's move on, bro. Fucking hell, I just went on a crazy rant. I remember you saying you would drop a few more. I will drop a few more gems, yes. I'll drop a few more. I've got one more AI coin that I want to drop. DJ, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Are you bullish on fish iron? What the fuck is that iron fish? Just by the name, I'm not bullish on it now. Iron fish. That's gotta be a meme coin, right? Oh no, actually, this is not a bad project. I remember this. I do remember this. This is actually not a bad project. Iron fish encryption. No, is it? Yeah, encrypts, fish encrypts. Crypto, multiple. This is too it's a privacy coin, but it's too niche, bro. I'm not really too bullish on privacy. I don't think privacy is gonna give you crazy returns. I personally would not invest into this though. It's not a bad project, but I'm not really bullish on it though. Is it a good time to buy AI tech? To be fair, AI tech is not a bad time to DCA some. If you don't hold any AI tech at all, it is not actually a bad time to accumulate some AI tech. AI tech is fundamentally good. They are paying for more exchange listings. They want to get multiple tier one exchange listings, which is one of the reasons this will pump significantly. But I do think, and the data center is going to be finished by the end of the year, I think. So, like I said, the market is dead now. Data center is not that important at the moment. But by the end of the year, they should have the data center finished. And then, AI tech will be a completed project and it will do really well. I think so, yeah, my friend. I do think we'll have a final shakeout before going higher. You got to think, right? I have this. If you guys follow me on Twitter, let me go on my Twitter. The market often likes to, surprise people. You could say when everyone is bullish, everyone is calling for new all-time highs. Is calling for new all-time. The market always likes to surprise people. You have to think logically, right? If the average person can think, everything's going to go parabolic in October, do you honestly think, well, they've arrested Trump? The first arrest will shock the world. Have they arrested Trump, or is that bullshit? I think we're gonna have one more scare, yes, and it will be like a recession scare. The more unemployment data comes out, the higher chances the market is gonna shit its pants. Hi, sir. I'm new to your channel. Found your channel last week. I'm very tempted to buy alt right now. I have no bag right now. Please tell me if I should buy or not. Let's have a look, my friend. Alt. If you don't have a single bag of alt, no, don't buy it right now. Just wait for it to come back down. It will come back down, my friend. Trust me. Just look at the chart. Just one massive green candle. It's not very sustainable. It most likely will get sold off at some point. So then, when it comes back down to 7, 8 cents, 8.3, 8.2, you could always buy a bag there. You could always buy a bag then, my friend. But it's not a bad time to, just wait for it to come down. It's had a decent bounce today, but these type of massive wicks is not sustainable in my opinion. They'll more likely come down. I mean, just look at alt on KuCoin. It's starting to, basically cool off a little bit. You see this massive green candle? These type of green candles are never sustainable. Just look at that. It's one massive green candle. It's never, this type of stuff is never sustainable, my friend. So it's better to wait, in my opinion. Better to wait. Yeah, G-Man, you definitely need RWA as well. You definitely need RWA because look, the whole concept is if you diversify your portfolio, because no one knows which narrative is going to take off initially. It's only a guessing game, right? So no one knows for certain. So the best thing to do is position yourself in every narrative. So then whichever pumps first, it doesn't matter because you're positioned in all of them. So if AI pumps first, you're already positioned. If gaming pumps first, you're already positioned. If RWA pumps first, you're already positioned. This is the whole point of diversifying your portfolio. What are you going to do, G-Mend, when most of your portfolio is AI, but then, gaming runs first? You're just going to be sitting there, sitting ducks, while most people's gaming projects go parabolic. So you're going to miss out on making money when the gaming narrative is hot because crypto works in narratives. It doesn't work where, there's like, this is how it works, right? When Bitcoin's going higher, all the coins that's already everyone knows about them, they pump slowly. The newer coins that's come out this year, not many people know about them, they don't pump. They just kind of consolidate, maybe go down a bit more, and then when that narrative takes off, those coins that are brand new, no one's heard of them. People go, when the AI narrative takes off, everyone is going to go look for new AI coins they've never heard of. They're going to start researching for new ones because when the high caps pump, the money flows into the lower cap ones. So then, people got to start looking for new AI coins. They look at Alt, they look at Sensei, they look at like some other projects that are brand new, no one's heard of them. They start looking into them and they realize, oh, this is a very good project, and then they start buying. This is how it works. Do not get discredited or lose motivation because the entire market is pumping and your new projects don't pump. This is how it is. You have to take this in consideration. This is how new projects behave until the narrative comes into play. So for example, right, and I always use this as an example because during these times, October, November, this is when you know most coins were going parabolic because the ETF got accepted. The market was going crazy. Most coins were pumping. What was AGI doing? Just consolidating for a month. Consolidating, went a little bit higher here. This was a buyer, probably from my group. I don't even remember. But then the market went higher and then it just consolidated more, went a little bit higher, came all the way back down to about 4 cents, 3 cents, and then went on to do the crazy numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these type of stuff takes time to play out. Just because the entire market is pumping and your coins ain't pumping, you just have to wait for the narrative to take off. So if gaming runs first and you're seeing your AI coins go down, is because everyone is selling those coins, taking skimming, low amounts of money off those and putting into gaming to make quick money. This is what people do. So don't get discredited, or lose or think the project is shit because it's going down when the whole market is going up. It's just not their time yet. But then when the narrative comes into play, those projects pump the most if they're good, obviously. If they're not good, then they're not going to pump too much. Keep that in mind, guys. I can't stress this enough. A lot of people think a project is shit because it's not pumping right now. That is not the case. There's so many projects like that. And I gave you a prime example. If you bought in here, this would have done 40 something X for you. And the same thing with AI tech as well. I can give you multiple other examples as well, but this is the best ones I can give you because they were AI coins. They were brand new at the time. No one's really heard of them. But if you look at this, the same thing of this, October, everything was going parabolic. This was just consolidating, ranging, going up slightly, coming down, going up slightly, coming down. Even up until the massive run, it was just ranging. You guys see what I'm talking about? They were just ranging. But during these times, all the coins were going parabolic. So it does not mean it's a bad project. And then it went on to do 45x, almost 50x in like a month. This is why price action does not matter up until the narrative is in play. So if God forbid, if aught does not pump during the AI narrative, then it is a shit project. That is the only time you could say or Sensei or any of these are shit projects. You can't say now because these are new projects. Most people are not looking for new projects right now. People are only adding to the existing bags. However, when retail comes into crypto, influencers start looking for new coins and then they start finding these, solid new coins. This is what's going to happen. Same thing happens to a bunch of other coins. The time is not right now. This is why do not call a project shit based off short-term price action. That's the biggest mistake you can do because what's going to happen is you're going to miss a bunch of really good projects because it's not pumping now, but 2-3 months down the line. This is why long-term investors always win in crypto rather than short-term people that want 100x within a month. You would never make that 100x. You will go chasing pumps. You will lose money. You might make a little bit of money on one pump and then you're going to put into the next one, lose that. And it's just like a whole gambling cycle, bro. I knew one guy. He started trading memes. His portfolio started with 60K. And then within 2 months, his portfolio went down to 10K. He lost 50K in 2 months because he was gambling. He was buying memes. He would win on some. He'd get excited, put too much in the next one. He would die. And then he'll do again, let me put this much to make that 10K back now. Eventually, you end up with nothing. End up with fuck all. This is what a bunch of people do. Have to be very careful not to fall for that. Long-term investors always win. Because if they're patient enough, they add their bags get bigger and bigger. You don't need to chase the 100x, gains if you got 10K in a project. You don't need to do that. All you need is a 10x and you make a lot of money. 20x, you make a lot of money. That's how it is. Domi is doing really well. Let's have a look at Domi. Domi is not too bad. In the MORPG type of games, it's pretty well. Domi's doing okay, I guess. Not really that well. Yeah, it's doing okay. Domi pun because of Alex Becker. He'll probably shit it one more time. Not sure why you would buy Alex and Michael Cass that Beams. Yeah, I think Beam is bad anyways. I like Beam. What are your 3 biggest bullish coins risk to reward? Well, my 3 biggest, the ones that I like the most is OTK, Sensei, and risk to reward ratio. Those are my 3 favorites. They will do the best in my opinion. By who? I don't even know who that guy is, but I just seen his post over there now. A lot of people are taking my products, I've realized. If you guys, James, how you doing, my friend? Anyone make a call Diddy oil? I don't know actually. That'd actually be a good meme coin to make. Diddy's. I'm pretty sure as soon as the news came out, someone made a meme coin out of it. 100%. But yeah, guys, listen. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of new upcoming YouTubers, they take my coins, but they don't give credit to me. That you can tell they steal my shit because you have to realize I am the first YouTuber to talk about alt and sensei. That most people, like now they don't even give credit no more. They just take it and they think, because they have a different community or whatever the case is. If I take a project from someone, I always like to give credit. The one person I do give respects out to is DXB. DXB does give out credit. So if he looks at our project and he realizes that, oh, I didn't find this project, someone else gave it to me. What they do is they give out a shout out to that person. It makes no difference, bro. Everyone can win in this game. A lot of people like to be like to play this Patreon game where if he tells his community, oh, I didn't find this project, someone else gave it to me, he gets scared that everyone's going to leave his group and join the other one. But it's like, bro, if you already made money in crypto like you claim you have, why do you care about 105, 10, whatever Patreons? They'll come on here and tell you, oh, I don't care about Patreons, but then they'll never give you credit for something that you gave to them and they done well. They don't like to give credit. So I don't even know who BTB is, but I don't. I actually like when people show altcoins because then what happens is, they pump our bags. That's the whole point. G waiting for the final dip to buy all and cents. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, buddy. AJ, how you doing, brother? And Kyle isn't 40 million and Cup is 25% probably. Imagine Unity at 200k. Kyle is probably a lot higher, bro. I thought your buy alert on alt was way higher. I think my initial buy alert on alt was like 15 cents or some shit. 15, 16 cents. But at that time I was only buying initial bags. My initial bags are like a couple $100. That's what I like to do. I like to get a position in the coin just so I don't miss it completely. At the time the market was still bearish. So then I gave out a very specific call that I'm buying a very small percentage right now, just so I have something in there. It's not way higher. Mine was like 15, 16 cents. That's when I bought. When you say way higher, you're probably thinking 20, 30 cents. No. And then I started DCAing a little bit more at 12. I still got like 40% of my alt bag to finish. I've not completed my alt bag. That's why I'm waiting for it to bottom out now, rather than just buying every little dip. I don't like buying every little dip. Yeah, because you don't want to buy every single little dip, my friend. You're going to run out of money. You have to wait for it to, somewhat hold the price. Because if you look at the alt chart, the chart, the chart for alt is more or less. Let me zoom out. The fuck do you zoom out? Oh yeah. So you do. It's a falling knife. You see this? This is a falling knife. This is a falling knife. It's just consistently falling. It's pumps, then dumps, pumps, and then probably dump. You have to wait for it to consolidate like this a little bit longer. Then you buy, then you know it's bottomed out. I don't like buying falling knives, my friend. It's pointless, especially when they get a massive green candle like this. Pointless to touch it. I'll check the video out T13. I think someone posted it in the VIP group. You should be doing would be yeah, look, anyone who shows our coins, I'm happy with, bro. I'm happy because at the end of the day, they just shouldn't got bags. I don't really care, bro. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I've already told plenty of YouTubers to buy alt and sensei already. Hector, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Big G averaging 100 peeps doing live streams. Yeah, to be fair, a lot of you guys don't know. I started my live streams at like 10 people. Like I think I was averaging like 10, 12 people. And that was literally the people that was helping me out. For example, Prez, Hoove, all the people that was watching me back then, those are the people that's consistently been helping me, liking my stream, sharing it around on this Twitter. Those are the people that you appreciate the most because when you first start out, You know, now it doesn't matter because I've gained a decent amount of followings. You know, those guys would come onto my streams, spam questions, like random questions, even though they already knew the answers, even though we've already probably talked about it. They would spam questions just so the live stream can last a bit longer. You know, that's the type of stuff that people were doing for me, bro. And I appreciate that loads. Being you got too much money, that's why. What will happen when the recession happens? The crypto market will stay. Well, the thing is, right? It depends what sort of recession we get, my friend. So there's different types of recession. We can get quick recessions that last a couple of months. You could get a recession that could last a month, maybe. The Fed will just print their way out. There's those type of recessions, like the COVID crash, for example. You know, it all depends on how quick the Fed adds to their balance sheet. Because when the Fed adds to the balance sheet, it means they're ready to go into QE and they're ready to go into economic expansion, which means that altcoins perform the best during that time. And that hasn't happened yet. Even though they cut rates by 50 basis points, the Fed is still in QT. They're still taking stuff off their balance sheet. So they're not ready to go into economic expansion yet, because you have to take in consideration, if the Fed starts printing now, there's always a chance that the inflation can come back around, but twice as worse. You have to keep that in mind. There's already, I think it was the 1930s, where the Fed cut too early, they turned the printers on too early, and then we had, inflation come back, but it came back twice as worse the second time. And then we spent a whole decade trying to, get our way out of it. And during that time, we went through 3 recessions or 2 recessions back to back. This is why we don't want the markets to pump in the short term. It's not healthy. Yes, you might make a bit of money, but then you're going to spend 10 years in a dead market where you don't really pump. It just goes up, comes down. It would basically be like the Bitcoin chart today. It would just be like consistent consolidation, just like this. Go up, come down, go up, come down. This is what it's going to be for 10 years. How are you going to make money in this type of environment? So, a lot of people are just stupid. They don't understand macros and they just want everything tomorrow. But the healthiest thing to do now is to avoid that. We don't want to go, a decade of the market just going up and then coming down, going up, coming down, not having any sustainable pumps, because you go through recession after recession in order to come out of that. It will happen eventually. Total Free got rejected here, but it looks like he wants to go. I don't know. We have to see tomorrow what he wants to do. But he's playing out exactly like this. Came up, wicked over here, or even up here, wicked again. Might have another wick, come down, have another wick, and then potentially go lower. Like I said, it's not enough for us to have an altcoin season at the moment. We need a little bit more rate cuts. USD Bitcoin dominance went as high as almost 59%. Of course, it's going to have a pullback. After you get a move from like this, you are going to get pullbacks, but it's had a bounce. Maybe it wants to go higher now. USDT dominance came down significantly. Maybe it wants to go higher as well. We don't know yet at the moment. We'll have to see in the coming days. What do you think about meme coins, Andy on base? Andy on base is a good meme coin, buddy. People, paper hand sensei now. Maybe you'll sell when you're correct. Possible, yeah. I'm not gonna sell my sensei personally. I don't really care about little pumps like 10-15% pumps. 80 likes, OG will start covering on the meme coins and rock pools. Should I want to start talking about? Boy, smash the like button. There's like 100 people. Let's get to 100 likes. It does help me out a lot, because at the end of the day, the more likes you get, the more your channel gets pushed down the algorithms. So I would appreciate if you guys just drop a like. I think Tuesday we'll see a pullback. Possible, yeah. I think by Tuesday we will, yeah. That's why I think as well. Because look how bullish the market was. All the news came out and still couldn't break 63K, 64K, the highest we went. Got rejected more or less 2 times. So I think a pullback is imminent. It's not guaranteed, like I said. I don't want to keep saying stuff that's making people think that's guaranteed. AI data center looks good. Updated DC and ORs in the crypto, in my opinion. Yeah, look, AI tech is still going to do well, in my opinion. Crypto G, when Sensei does 100x, where is project? Where doing project X? If Sensei does 100x, or even does 100x, we're all gonna make a shit ton of money, bro. All crypto is a scam. I wouldn't say all crypto is a scam because there is actually some legit projects. Bitcoin's not a scam. Sensei is a believable scam. Yeah, Sensei. I mean, look, it depends. Some of these projects, Web3 is gonna eventually become like Web2. It just takes a long time. We just don't know which one in that period of time will stay around. If Becca mentions OTK in his next video is gonna fly, I don't have any yet. What do you think OTK dip into? Let's have a look at OTK. OTK. Have I added too much coins? Fuck off. Let's give it a O. Let's add OTK. Maybe I'll just add the trading view. I might just pay for trading view, bro. Even though I barely use it. OTK looks like it has a lot of support at 25 to 23 cents. This is what a lot of support is building up. You guys can see over here. There's a lot of support here. It's bounced, came down, once, got rejected, bounced again, bounced. If it comes again down here, eventually it will break down. That's the thing. Eventually it will. So if that's the thing is, if it keeps going down and hitting the support line, eventually you run out of buyers and you break down. That's how it is. So let's just see. It's not a bad time to grab a bag at like 25 cents, I would think. Exactly. AI tech will do well. Patience is key. AI tech will do extremely well. Most people know about AI tech now. If you look at deepin across the board, I think AI tech is amongst the best. Most other deepin projects look ass. What are you buying now? What do you recommend, Sensei? Oh, I wouldn't buy any of them right now, buddy. Both of them have pumped a decent amount today. You have to wait for pullbacks before buying those. Or has pumped like 16% today. You don't want to be buying 16% pumps. You want to be buying when it goes lower. So most likely it will go lower now. Wait for this to go lower before buying, bro. I don't like buying green candles. None of you guys should buy green candles. There's a CME gap of 53K, buddy, on Bitcoin. Is based AI the next tower? Based AI is very, very good. There is based AI is pretty good. The problem is it was a lot higher market cap than Tau was when it first launched. Tau, when it was like 40, it's probably like, I think it was either 100 or less. Let me check. I can't remember what the market cap was back then. It's not going to tell you here, but the market cap wasn't that high. So it was kind of similar to this, maybe a bit lower. I think this will sell off at some point. Why? Because you have to take in consideration the people that stake in the Pepe coin shit is gonna eventually sell off, because when the mainnet goes live, those people can't sell all their bags that they've been stacking up, staking Pepe coin and all the base AI coins they've stacked up. Eventually they're gonna sell. So I would wait for that to happen. Then you will get better buying opportunities across the board. Tech term or mint layer? Tech term by far, but mint layer is not that good. Time to start learning Russian and Chinese, bro. Hey guys, if you explain the millionth time why mint layers ass, I'll leave the chat. Yeah, I'm not explaining it again, bro. I'm tired of that shit, anyways. During the next dip, I'll go 100% while steady 15% fresh pound dips again. During the dip, I will go 100% while being ready to add. That's completely fine as well, buddy. And add some old good odds in upmost dip 40% 2x. But some odds already is up about 40% or did a 2x. Not like you're going to buy it cheaper in the market dumps. Or am I wrong, G? You are going to buy it cheaper, of course. If the market dumps, of course you're going to get it cheaper. You're going to get it at least break even, near break even. Stop waiting for the dip. You guys have many chances buying cheap altcoins. Stop waiting for the dip. You guys have had many chances to buy dips. We've already bought most of my coin, my friend. I don't even know what you're talking about. You must be new to my channel, bro. But if you've been watching my channel, we was buying the 48K dip. Keep that in mind, bro. Been buying the 48K, and this guy is a perma bull, bro. Don't listen to idiots like this. This guy is a perma bull. He's probably been buying since March, consistently buying. He's got no more dry powder, so he's just gonna become a perma bull. We're not gonna get a bull until 2025, so I don't even know why you want to buy now when the market's up significantly. People has been saying this shit, the same shit. Oh, this is the final dip. This is the final dip forever now. They've been saying it for the past 5-6 months. This is the final dip. It recovers and gets rejected, goes puts in lower. Oh, this is the final dip. And the same shit. They do this consistently for the past 6 months. Eventually they will be right. But I don't think we're gonna get, there's gonna be better buying opportunities for sure. Why would you buy altcoins now when he's at the top of the range? Like, how stupid do you have to be to buy this now when he's already got rejected 2 times pretty much? Why would you go and buy altcoins now? He just got rejected off the top of the trend line 2 times. And Bitcoin doesn't look like it is showing too much strength to go higher. It's not. Why would I go buy now? These are the type of people that will force you to buy to be on the same boat as them. And then, these people are crazy, man. I don't care, but like I said, I've been buying shit since 2022, but I'm up. The only coin I am down on today is Alt. That's it. I'm up multiple X's on all of my projects. Multiple X's. I'm still up on AI Tech and AGI, like probably like 10 to 13X. On AI Tech, I'm up like 6X, 5X, 6X, or 7X. I don't even know what the price of AI Tech is. On OTK, I'm up over 60, 70X. I've been buying, my friend, for a long time. You have to time the markets. You can't just buy, because all these retard influencers are telling you to buy. Why would I do that? That's just stupid. I'm positioned very, very well, regardless of which way the market goes. 85% in the markets is very good because you can use the rest of your money to trade. Even if, for example, let's say the dip never happens and we go to 100K tomorrow, it wouldn't matter to me because I'm positioned 85% in. I've got 15% USDT that I can always use to trade. I just told you how crypto works. It works in narratives. So, for example, if gaming runs first, now I can just go buy 10 other gaming projects with my 15% USDT. Most of them will pump. And then I'm already positioned. I can make money and then use that profit I've just made, put into the next narrative, position myself into the next narrative. So it doesn't matter which way the market goes. I am in a good place. Being 85% in the markets is really good because let's say the market, look how much recession signs or some sort of hard landing signs are showing now. If we have a hard landing, I've got 15% to buy. I can buy 3-4 times more tokens than I could have now, maybe 5 times more tokens now on some projects for a very cheap amount of money. This is why it's better to be in my situation than people like this guy who's 100% in the markets and just consistently calling for new all-time highs every other day. Like these people have no base case. They just say, "Oh, is a halving year. The Q4 is always bullish. We have to pump." It's not always the case, bro. It's not always the case. Every single time we've had a red August and red September, 2 out of the 3 months has been red. So yes, we might get a bullish October, but then November and December will be red. It all depends on how this month closes. If this month closes red, then that will play out because then August and September being red means that 2 out of 3 months will be red. Sometimes there was all 3 months were red. But then they think that we don't know which way this is gonna close by the end of the month. If it closes green, it probably will be bullish. If it closes red, it will be different. As long as I have opportunity to buy crypto, I think CBDCs governments can control. Yeah, look, CBDCs will come at some point, bro. Good to see you as well. Walaikum salam, bro. How you guys doing? How do you diversify outside of crypto with your gains, or what's the recommendation when banks had it? I mean, look, you always need money in the bank, my friend. You always need money in the bank because you have to take in consideration, right? You're gonna need to pay for your bills. You need money in the bank to run your everyday lives. It's just what you do with the rest of your money. What do you think? What would you advise? I'm not good with entries on really or second RWA gem. You think we'll get good entry ranges before the year ends? I think so, Chris. Yes, 100%. I think so. There's no point FOMOing in now. Relio tends to come down with the market. If Bitcoin goes down 5%, 10%, Relio will go down to at least 70, 80 cents. And that could be a good time to start accumulating some Relio. Now it bounced. Now it looks like it potentially wants to go lower. This follows Bitcoin very closely. And the thing is, with this project is all paper hands, is a bunch of Twitter shillers that showed it from 50 cents and made it do a 2x. Eventually, those paper hands will sell. This is all paper hands because, like I said, this is the top 10 most talked about crypto. So obviously is going to pump. But then all of those people are paper hands. So the people that bought down here, when it gets to their price, they're going to panic sell. And it's going to keep leading to a chain reaction, I think. Hi, G. Think of Planet. I bought and I'm 90% down. Damn. 90% down. That's not good. Is that Planet Mojo? Which planet are you talking about? This shit planet. You have to just hold it, bro. Just hold. All the tokens are down 90% on. Just hold it. It makes no difference. Literally just hold it. Look, in the bull run, even shit pumps 5 to 10x. So then all your coins will either get broke even or you'll be in profits by the end. Even in the narratives, tokens can pump differently. What can be different about narratives? The main thing is that we're on G's group and we have nothing to worry about managing crypto. Yeah, of course, my friend. Skull, it's good to see you, buddy. Really enjoyed the geopolitical wisdom. Appreciate it, my friend. Any remarks on Munity? What do you mean on remarks? Munity is just doing his thing, is chilling. Had a decent pump yesterday. Now it's just chilling. Pumped to like 60 and then just came back down to 58. Munity is just chilling right now. They're still working. I mean, what I like about Munity is the team's working hard. And if a team has money or not, buy when they go to these events. And these guys did manage to go to token 2049 in Singapore. So this shows that they got money. A lot of projects cannot afford to take a bunch of people there, set up shop. It takes a lot of money to do that. And if they're brokies, they can't do it. So it shows the project has money, which is a good sign. Yeah, bro, look, it's the same team that made Sandbox. All the team are doxed. Like, it's gonna do well, bro. Like, Munity should be 1% of your portfolio, bro. I don't even look at Munity because you have to take in consideration, right? If he's 1% of your portfolio, it makes no difference if it dies or does 100x. You will still make money. Obviously, you want it to do 100x, but if it dies, it doesn't affect your overall portfolio. Made is very clear on Munity, bro. I don't even look at my Munity bag. I've bought my bag. I'm happy with it. I don't even look at it, but I'll look at it next year when the gaming narrative takes off. I'm not going to look at it every 5 seconds if it goes up 10%, goes down 20%, and goes up 20% the next day. It makes no difference for me. I'm not looking at it. I always advise people, buy a Munity bag that you'll buy and don't look at it for like, I don't know, for until next year. Munity a good buy or dump? Now market seems no micro caps don't really dump like the rest of the market, my friend. Call wouldn't call project like Sensei, just different way to VCs, way to do to VC. More or less scam, but VC finance setup. Wouldn't call project like Sensei. It's just different way to do VC. It's not more or less of a scam as any VC finance startup. My friend, Sensei is different. There's no VC. Sensei is fair launched. Every single project has bots in their Telegram, bro. Every single project has bots in their Telegram. Who the hell's got time to be sitting in a Telegram and talking all day, bro? Most people have lives outside of crypto. So every single project has bots to talk to each other. It's normal, but if you go to any crypto chat, there's multiple bots in there. This is how all of them are, my friend. Unless you look into the top projects, then there'll probably be people in there. But it's a low cap project. Go look at any low cap project. There's probably around 20, 10, 15, 20% of the people that's real. Rest of them all bots. It's not nothing to be worried about. Every project is like this. What do you think we'll see the next big deal? I don't know when we're gonna see. It will happen sometime within this year. By the end of this year, we will have a dip. 100%. We'll have a dip. It will be, some sort of hard landing dip. HTX is doing really well. My DGEM. Oh yeah, HTX done like a 2-3x. I have a DGEM portfolio in my private group, and this has been performing extremely well. What the fuck? This has gone crazy, bruv. This is done like a 3-4x in a very short period of time. Damn. Volume is ass though. Look at the volume. It's 33k volume. It's a very micro cap coin. But it's done a 3x, not bad. Hope people bought it then. What do you think about TokenFi? TokenFi is decent. It's too high in cap. I personally would not buy it. There's better projects with the same cap. Right to my last comment. Last question. Please, I have a portfolio 8,000. Can you please tell me how much coins I should hold maximum returns? If you got 8k portfolio, my friend, the way I look at it is you should aim to have at least 1k in every project to get any sufficient amount of money. If you spam 8k across 20 projects, you're not going to make much money. Whereas if you put 1k in each project, you can do really well. Maybe some projects 2k. I would look to grab 4 to 6 projects. Maybe between 4 to 6 projects with that money. Maybe even 4 to 7 projects. Let's say. Soulflex, yeah. I remember when I had 12 viewers. Yeah, that's how much I used to have, like 12, 13 viewers, bro. Fucking hell, but how much messages are there? Yep, Sensei is. How's it going? Grape coin is a good time to pick up a bag of. Let me look at grape. This is another one I took a massive hit on, bro. My 8 grand in this is probably worth maybe like fucking pennies. To be honest with you, this should be the bottom for this project, I think. It looks like it has broken this downtrend. You guys can see it's broken this downtrend. So this could be the bottom for this project. It could be possible. If it holds here now and you could buy this, well, a 10x or 20x is a lot of money. All you need is 2 million. So if you want to add this, to your DGEM portfolio, they got very, very good exchanges. Look at the exchanges they have: Bybit, KuCoin, BitGet. They got very, very good exchanges. Bybit is like a solid tier 1, tier 2 exchange. Surprised they haven't been delisted with the shit volume they have. But it's not actually a bad time to grab a small bag of this, to be fair. I personally hold this because I'm down, but I have to grab another bag to bring my averages back down. That's what I'll have to do. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone though. Personally, it's on a dead chain as well, BNB. But when the gaming takes off, they got very, very looks like a mini Axie Infinity. They've got multiple games already out. They've got their launch pad now, which is good. Gives more people to stake their tokens. It gives a good token utility, and then they're doing some stuff. They're still partnering. They're still working, which is good to see. They're still working. As long as the team is still working and the project is not dead, they're forming partnerships here and there, which they have been doing. It can still do well. Yes, it can still do well. But this is not any. You would not put anything more than a small percentage of your portfolio into this, but like a small amount, nothing more than that. 30 of these accounts watching on UC4. The fuck am I here? Anyways, the RWA coin. What's your take on Planning RWA coin? There's a project called Planet. Oh gosh. This is the RWA coin, right? If you're down 90%, just don't sell it, bro. This should be 16 trillion RWA market. I thought this was a meme coin, bro. What the fuck is this? The state of art platform tokenized real world assets being yield to Web3. So what did they provide yield for? Let's have a look. This looks fucking awful, bro. Not gonna lie to you. This looks ass. Good exchanges though. Very good exchanges. To be fair, keep this, bro. This could do well. This could do well. It doesn't look the best, but I personally would keep it if you're down that much on it. Student Sensei going to be solid this cycle. I think so, yeah. I think both of them will do well. Would you sell anything with these pumps 2x and then buy back later? Chris, it depends what I wouldn't sell everything. I would sell, maybe skim a little bit of profits, but let's just see when the market reacts tomorrow. That's all that matters. How far do you think FET can go? Fetch AI, I don't know. Fetch AI has already done this pumps, bro. Fetch AI has done multiple exits. I want to buy it now. How old am I? 25, bro. Technologic. Azalix. Yeah, Azalix is good degen coin. I don't really care, bro. I don't really they're all the same, bro. Whoever comes in office, they're all the same. They're all controlled by the same people, bro. It doesn't matter who's in office, bro. They put those people in office for a reason because they can control them. My bad, Christopher, bro. You know what? You're a G, bro. I can't lie, you're a G. Because a lot of people when you they take it to heart and they get like anything I say on here, if I swear or it's not. Don't take it personal, bro. It's nothing personal. I like people who find it funny and just joke around. I respect that, Christopher. You know it. You're one of the best in the market. Thank you very much, buddy. I do think I'm one of the best in the market, to be fair. If you want to get into all, you better do so now. We'll sorry if you didn't look at the charts tomorrow. This guy's trying to pump his own bags. Big E32, how you doing, my friend? Lex, how you doing as well? Better to sell some alts now in the free ups and dry powder than coming. I personally wouldn't do it up until the next couple of days. We have to see. Tao Don, mate, come on. Get your head out of the sand. Bro, Tao like can do a 5 to 10x. It's not really done in that sense, as in it's gonna fucking die. Tao can do a 5 to 10x. Like you can't look, I hold a bag of Tao. I've been holding Tao since $40. So I'm being realistic, and this is my still up fucking over 10x, 12x right now, currently in this massive dip thing. Mine's a boom bag though. I took profits on this shit, but look, Tao will give you a 10x, 5 to 10x. So it's not really done. A 10x is possible for this as well. So a 10x would be like $4,000 a piece. But then, I think the most could do is like $2,000 a piece, I think. So we do like between a 5 to 10x between that region. That was still a good project, don't get me wrong. I hold it myself, but I'm not gonna, I'm not biased. What is the best coin? What is the best place to hold your coins? Hardware. You can use Tangent. I think Tangent is probably good. Do you think Sensei drop down to 0.1? I do think it's possible, yes. I think, look, if the market gets bearish, which it probably will. I mean, look, if you get some sort of hard landing and everyone's scared, everything will dump significantly. You'll see Sensei come down 50%. Of course, it's already dipping now. It's already dipping now. Sensei is very, very good. Eventually, it will go lower. You don't need a lot of money to sell this. If like 10 grand sells this, it will go back down to 12 cents very quickly. 0.012, not 12 cents. It will go down. These coins don't need a lot of money or a lot of liquidity to pump up or down. What would you do if CGT is increased in October? CGT? What's CGT? Am I tripping? CGT. What is CGT, bro? Global net liquidity or something? Capital gain. Oh, capital gain tax. Bro, if they increase capital gain tax, I'm getting the fuck out of this country, bro. I'm not paying 40%. I think they are going to do next month, innit? Appreciate it, Zimbo. No, Rhino. What's my thoughts on AFA? I'm gonna lips up alt when I get. What's alt now? Is it pumped or dumped? What's the 2-year and the 10-year doing? So the 2-year, 10-year bounced. This is the 2-year still looking bad. You gotta keep in mind when this goes down, you normally get a recession. So you don't really want this to go down. You want this to bounce. The more this goes down, the more likely chance of a recession gets. Keep that in mind, guys. What was I gonna look at? I was looking at all on it. 16%. Oh, it's still a 9. Okay. Yeah, all my pump tomorrow. We don't know. Which top token project will most likely do a 30 to 50x in a bull run next year? I would say a 30 to 50x. You're looking at Sensei. You're looking at Alt. You're looking at OTK. I do think even Tectum could. No, Tectum's a very solid project. This is one I haven't really talked about today. But if you look at Tectum, not only has it been holding up very well, but it's been performing fairly well as well. So I do think Tectum has the potential. These guys have delivered. Soft nodes are revolutionary for crypto payment. Crypto as a payment, soft nodes does it the best. And then the fastest layer 1. They're also a layer 2 to Bitcoin. So they do cover multiple different narratives. And once the SDK is alive, you will get projects building on this project, which is what we want. So I think these 4 coins, Sensei or Tectum, OTK, these can do 30 to 50x's. Maniki, pretty good meme coin. Munity is a micro cap, so you can probably do that as well. ZF is not too bad either. Anissa, good to see you as well. So you always wait for projects to bottom out by best prices. Which indicator do you use to tops make profit? The thing is, right, you use risk metrics. So then, whenever a project or whenever Bitcoin is at the top of the risk metric, or whenever altcoins is at the top of the risk metric, that is when you start DCAing out. That's the kind of metric you use. Because when you buy a very low risk metric and then you sell a high risk metric, you tend to make a lot of money. That's how it is. All right, boys, 2 hours. Let's wrap up this live stream now. I think 2 hours is ridiculously long. I appreciate all of you that came down today. I don't even want to do any more than 2 hours. It's already very long. I streamed quite early today, hence why, hence why I've stayed on for 2 hours. Normally, I would have already been off by now. But thank you everyone that came down. Drop a like if you haven't already done so. Let's get to 100 likes, and I will be dropping either an RWA tier list tomorrow, so the best RWA coins that you guys can buy on the next dip, because nothing goes up forever, bro. It's probably going to dip at some point. And then I will be live streaming, most likely in the coming days. Maybe on Tuesday I'll live stream, or tomorrow even. I'll have to see. My next live stream will be probably tomorrow, buddy. Cool guy. Probably will be tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not too sure. Let's see. It all depends on how the market reacts. So because the market was pumping today, I decided to come on a live stream. But then when the market dumps, I'll live stream even more, because then you get better buying opportunities. When the market's pumping, you don't want to force people to FOMO in, because their bags get wrecked when the market dips. That's how it is. But yeah, thank you guys for coming down today. Where's my hold on? Where's my end screen? There it is.